Theories of motivation.
The varieties of drives are reversible internal conditions that orient individuals towards a specific type of goal. Regulatory drives, for example, such as hunger or pain, promote homeostasis. Homeostasis is the tendency of an organism to maintain a stable initial state. Secondly, non regulatory drives, such as sex, serve other purposes that are not related to homeostasis. Mammalian drives are sometimes classified by the function of regulatory, safety, reproductive, social, and educational categories. Humans everywhere also exhibit aesthetic drives. The evolutionary functions of these are not yet obvious to researchers yet.
Drives as states of the brain. Motivation is made up of internal and external factors that cause us to behave in certain ways at certain times. We call this a motivation state or a drive. There are also different types of drives. For example, there are regulatory drives, which exist to preserve homeostasis, which is the body's efforts to create an equilibrium within its own functions. The other type of drives are non-regulatory drives. These drives are not about important bodily functions, but are instead about things that are beneficial but not necessary, such as social approval, success, or education. One theory that relates to these ideas is the central state theory of drives, which is the idea that different drives are created by different sets of neurons and therefore different neural activity within the brain. As part of this theory, there's this central drive system in which activity from groups of neurons is what creates a drive.
Intrinsic motivations are involved when someone is choosing to complete an activity for its own sake and personal rewards. The person will be more likely to stay with this type of task long term. The purpose of participation is the enjoyment with the task itself, earning internal rewards such as emotions of pleasantness and pleasure. Extrinsic motivations are involved when completing an activity to earn a reward or avoid punishment. The person will be more likely to complete this type of task when it is necessary and of lesser interest to the person. The purpose of participation is to receive benefits that will be derived from participating. Emotions involved with these motivations are tension and pressure, and incentives will most likely be social or material. This is related to the overjustification effect. If icing cake is your job and it is something you love, then your intrinsic and extrinsic motivation towards it will change as time goes on.
Incentives are rewards that motivate us to act in a certain way. An example of an incentive would be a work bonus or pay increase at a person's day-to-day job. The drive reduction theory is Hull's theory, which is based on homeostasis, where the body must actively maintain consistency of internal conditions. However, the theory initiates the being to behave in the way that reduces the drive to achieve a state of balance externally. To understand the theory, we can first identify what a drive is. A drive allows for a person to satisfy their needs. Before meeting those needs, they are in a state of arousal or discomfort, which motivates them to no longer feel that way. For example, fulfilling hunger. Someone may drive to the shop, purchase food, drive back, cook it, then eat it. The drive for food causes them to do all these actions. Secondary drives can be included as well, as they are learned from conditioning or association with a primary drive like money, social acceptance, and many more.
The instinct theory, sometimes known as the evolutionary theory, is where all humans are evolutionarily designed in a way that helps them to survive. People are born with unlearned traits that allow them to behave naturally. These are the instincts that drive a person's decisions.
The arousal theory, also known as the Yerkes-Dodson law, is a model that represents the relationship between stress and task performance. It proposes that people reach their peak level of performance with an immediate level of stress or arousal, and with a little or too much arousal or stress, the results are poorer in performance. For example, under arousal leads to boredom, and over arousal will lead to stress. The arousal theory is biologically oriented. People act in a way to maintain their optimal level of psychological arousal. This level depends on the individual. Some people may seek to conduct activities that stimulate and excite them, while others may require lower levels of arousal and seek out relaxing activities.
These are our citations. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something.